Voice in Mexico City due to really fighting for my life by using my voice. So now, as I await a new flight in Germany, I am without my clear voice that I usually use in the podcast. It has been diminished in an effort to survive. So let's keep that in mind as you see that my voice has changed. It's all due to me having inappropriate, combative conversations with the Mexican police for my survival, and I lost my voice in the process. So let's give you all a moment to come in. I'm supposed to be able to mute. All right. As you know, this has been ongoing for 2 years, stemming from an illegal implantation of neuroweaponry in Puerto Rico. Now I've experienced two flights where I had to be illegally removed from the flights due to human plants placed in close proximity to me, causing chaos, and then attempting to provoke me to a trauma response that led officials to believe that I was the problem. In the first occurrence in Germany, of course, I responded in a way that was protective, that may have been interpreted as a trauma response. But in this particular incident today, on this phone is a new phone, the police in Mexico City destroyed two of my cell phones, so I have to acclimate to this new phone's features. So today it's 1:36 p.m. on 11/8/2025, and I was again removed from the plane. There were a couple who allegedly purchased seats beside me, but they wanted the wife to sit at the window and the man to sit at the aisle and me in between, which seemed weird to me in a husband-wife situation. But I did not question it. I just wanted to make sure that they were indeed the correct people assigned to the seat. In that determination and process of assessing that, the man became very combative. And so rather than engage at all, I immediately asked a stewardess to replace me in another seat away from the couple. In that attempt, the man continued to talk much derogatory language towards me as I began to move my items from the seat in the middle of them. In the process of explaining this to another stewardess, she immediately took the side of the couple and determined me to be inappropriate for the flight without any further assessment from the passengers around the situation, nor did she question me as the victim. This was clearly a motivated situation of discrimination that I did not deserve. So in the process, I was then again escorted off the second plane from Germany by police and initially accused of being the aggressor or the perpetrator of the chaos. And this is not true. This is a false narrative. So I'm documenting for the purpose of making sure that my narrative is not told in a way that continues to attack me. I have been graciously helped by the German police, I can say that. in comparison to the Mexican police. They were very unprofessional, but I can say that considering the lack of information about the neuroweaponry and the alleged game that police are led to believe is in effect concerning my body and my personality and my life, those nuances of corruption have not stopped the German police from us responding in the most appropriate way they can find, considering such a drastic technological attack on humanity. Because we have to look at it from a broader sense that I am not the only victim, and there are police officers who are victims. And so understanding that I am keeping a level head, I'm maintaining my sovereignty, and I'm not taking any shit as usual. And so what I'm doing now is awaiting a flight to my next destination, which I will not reveal, although it becomes very touchy subject of whether or not I should reveal to the viewers my next destination or not, because with me being implanted with the neuroweaponry, the perpetrators of my attacks from the dark web already know. And so, again, we still have not gotten any clear information on where my family and loved ones are. I was planning on healing it in Malta for 30 days prior to re-engaging in a private investigation to look for my family and loved ones, but that was stopped by the same dark web perpetrators who follow me and attack me consistently now for 2 years. One moment. And so I'm trying to maintain a calm demeanor. I have been usurped of my financial stability through attack, meaning that had I been able to continue on my trip to Malta as planned, I would have had a significant amount of money to provide for my food, to provide for my room and board, to provide for my next gym membership, and I would have healed myself in Malta. That was the plan after such a severe attack in Mexico City by Mexico City police. From my understanding of just traveling through the airport and being able to hear other chipped victims speak of what they've been discovering in an effort to make sure my justice is upheld, they've mentioned that the Mexican police again perhaps placed the man who has been lying as to being a federal officer and working with me, quote unquote Malcolm, quote unquote Marcus, quote unquote 19 Keys. These particular names are the same names of the same energy of the same perpetrator who has yet to stop stalking me in an effort to cover his criminal responsibility for the possible disappearance of my family members and loved ones, as well as the ongoing attack of my mental health, my physical health, and my overall financial stability. I've already explained about my voice. And so now I'm documenting as I sit in the police holding center for passport observation and assessment. I am not detained. I am not arrested. I am not a criminal. I am not FBI. I am not CIA. I am not NSA. I am not any federal police officer. I am a victim of international terrorism, and I am a survivor who is speaking up because of the severity of the crimes that these conglomerates engage in. I do not want to be associated in any way. And so I'm making sure to document not only in police stations, but also through the mechanism of YouTube and various other platforms that I've asked people to repost this information on. I've been held back from those endeavors in the hacking of my devices, whereas they're able to access my actual YouTube account and run up my data as if I am adding my various recordings to Facebook. Facebook has been revealed to me through various other chipped victims as a place where the dark web has perhaps placed AI, AI images and voice inflections that are said to mimic me in a fashion of pornography. I have not seen these things. I have not been on Facebook for years. Probably the last time I logged on to Facebook was probably 2017. No, I did log on one time when I was trying to recover my previous Instagram account, Profound Thinkers Investing. So that was probably in 2023, in an attempt to recover my hacked Instagram account. So all of my social media continues to be attacked and hacked. And I continue to have a lack of communication with family and loved ones because of these attacks. Today at the coffee machine, I experienced where a man perhaps allegedly utilized his chip to stop my purchase from going through at a kiosk for coffee. This is something that I've been able to recollect from previous experiences where my credit card was stopped for no reason of insufficient funds, but rather the neuroweaponry has that, perhaps it has that capability to trigger some type of malfunction in your ability to make purchases when they have labeled you as some type of test dummy, because that could only be the definition or the descriptive word for such an attack that has been so severely damaging to my mental health as well as my physiology in terms of my health as an ongoing health guru, so to speak, in my life for the last 8 years. I've done nothing but try to work towards better health, and that includes working out and eating healthy. And so, there's different things that I need to explain about what is happening. Right now, I do not see my numbers running up at all. So that gives me a clue that perhaps they have been able to channel my lives to another live broadcast that I am not engaged in, nor do I participate in. And this is another scary nuance that I need to document, because I am not engaged in any dark web activity nor a false shell like Facebook that utilizes my likeness and image for slush funds and racketeering exchange of monies that are probably fraudulently gained. This is my theory based on 2 years of not only inner research of my own psychology, but also looking at those who attack me and what their purpose is for the attack. And it has been clearly revealed to me through this data set calculation of occurrences of qualitative research that I am a victim of international terrorism. And because I won't give in to the crime bosses, quote unquote crime bosses, in various capacities of civilian to government involvement, that I am targeted in an effort to make me yield to the request to become something in this quote unquote dark web fiasco. And so I'm documenting. Right now I'm maintaining my calm because I think that I have various German officials around me who see with clarity versus some who don't. And so that makes it a little more balanced in my approach for some type of safety in this environment. Whereas Mexico City demonstrated nothing but a crime conglomerate, participative effort to silence me. And so this is Erica Clarke BS, the Renaissance. I am not able to complete my birthday trip due to the same efforts of the slavery game in making me feel as if they have domination over my movement. I think they were trying to target me in an effort to make me appear in certain places in the United States where they could utilize the simulation in order to further terrorize me and ruin my credibility. This is why I think I was sent back to the United States, because the paperwork that has been drafted by some of the German officials indicates an issue of financial security and maybe some other intergovernmental interferences influence that decision. And so I'm aware of this. I've already expressed to the government here in terms of the police at the airport that I am not financially unstable. I make enough money to fit the criteria for which they require us to have as American citizens to stay in the EU for 30 days. So that could have been adjusted, that could have been looked at and further analyzed and allowed for. Now I have concerns about recouping the money that I paid for my trip to Milan and further to Malta because of the time lapse in the decision making and the pretty bad decision making in sending me back to the US. So these are the things that I have to concern myself with. I have no contact with family and loved ones, and that is due partially to my decision to self-master for 8 years and pull away from most people in that solitude to write books, to study, and to grow as a person. So that's my decision. That doesn't make me anything that's abnormal. It makes me an advanced human in the sense that I'm willing to take those sacrifices of human interaction to make sure that I'm adding to society rather than taking away. And so this is my story. Erica Clarke BS, the Renaissance, is my moniker due to the intensive intellectual property robbery and plagiarism that has been placed upon me due to access to my thinking and the skewing of what my thinking is relayed to be through interference of neuroweaponry. So a lot of things that the police are told about me and my personality are false. And so that creates a distance between some officers and myself, as demonstrated throughout my experience for the last 2 years. And so this is Erica Clarke BS, the Renaissance. I hope that this is posted appropriately and that you all get the message to NATO, the UN, the International Criminal Court, and all your local newspapers. And anybody who believes in humanity receiving justice when falsely attacked and detained in a system of corruption that seeks to provide hate groups with domination over certain groups that are disenfranchised in one way or another. Thank you so much.